It's time for a trade and get paid. Forex forecast. It's raining pips out here.
What's going on, guys? It's Joe Giunta with Trend Trading Academy. I'm here to help you trade and get paid. And I'm back with another Forex forecast, June 12th, Sunday. Market's about to open, and, we had some great movement. So before I get into it, don't forget, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you share it. Let's push this out there. A lot of people have been commenting. People have been telling me that these Forex forecast videos are helping. We've really been eating together, man. So, I hope these videos are continually bringing you value. And now, just so you know, I moved my advanced class inside of TTA to Sunday nights because I want to open the week with, with the TTA team. The families, we're opening up the market together on Sunday nights. So I'm like kind of doing an in-depth, full hour-long class, opening the week like a Forex forecast type class. And we're doing that together as a team. So, man, don't miss out. Don't miss out. Become a student. Trendtrading.academy, links in the description. And, man, take some benefits here, man. We got a lot of good stuff going on. So let's jump into it, guys. So last week, I was talking about how, basically we had kind of like this movement here like this. We had this kind of movement going on. You can see how it was kind of coming together, and we got the breakout here. Of course, if you were in TTA, you could see the early entry. So we kind of showed how the breakout would be right here. You can see at the top of this line right here, if you have the indicator, if you're a TTA member and you have the VDI, you can see at the breakout here that we threw this line. And, man, what a beautiful trade from there. But if you were in TTA, you see the yellow caution bar popped. And, man, what a trade we had. So we kind of got the breakout here at this line. And, man, we ate real good on that. But here's what's really going on for, like, this week is in order to really know everything about a position, you kind of need to know where it's come from. So when you zoom out a little bit, I want to show you something. Look what happens when you zoom out. Look how far down this dropped. And if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, I told you that this drop was going to happen and that if it broke past this level here, it was going to continue push down. But it never did break that lower low. It kind of rejected that area of the lower low down here. You can see down here. So it never did make it down there. It started pushing back up. So right here, this is an interesting place for us to be because is this really just moving up to come back down, or was this clearly not going to set a new low and it was just going to continue up? So let's take a look and kind of see what happened here. So we came down, we had structure, we came down, we had structure, we came down, we had structure, but then that structure started to give us a almost like an ascending pattern here. So normally we would see something like this and we would think that it's going to break to the downside. However, we saw it break to the upside. And so is that a problem? No, not at all. Because remember, we don't trade with bias. If you want to really understand, which way to trade, you really have to understand wave theory. So I would encourage you to go back and watch my video that I dropped this past week on how you can profit from a trend, because I really kind of broke down wave theory for you in a real simple manner so you can understand where to get in, where to get out from some of these positions. So go back and watch that video. But what happened here, let me kind of make it a little bit bigger for you so you can see it, right? When we see here, price came up, we kind of had this movement in here, and we had this pattern, all right? We got the breakout. When we got this breakout, and what a breakout that was, it was beautiful, just easy money, easy money. It didn't even really look back. It just kind of came all the way up, real nice, and we ate real good off of that. Proper risk reward. We had, real good reward right here, risk right here. We got in here at TTA. YouTube probably got in right here. And, either way, you got 150, 170 pips right there with a very, very minimal risk. And so, that was really nice. Why is that important? Well, because when you look at it here, look what happens. It goes up and immediately goes into this gather, right? When you see it right here, it immediately goes up and forms this little sideways move right here that really doesn't amount to much. And so what happens is we have a rally base and then we get a big drop. Now, this is what's really, really interesting, because notice the level that it came and dropped to, right? So when we look at it like this, when we come right from here, right? So we come from the, this top right here, and you can literally see that really all it did was shift the pattern. That's really all it did. It just shifted the pattern. So essentially, if you go back and watch my videos on the correction cutoff strategy and how to trade abnormal markets, and I'll tag that video above, this right here is almost like an aberration, right? Like this right here, it basically essentially tells us that this gather was either one of two things. Either the market needed to come up and get some and essentially have a gathering point before a drop off, like basically it needed to come up and have a sell off point, or essentially this could have been market manipulation, because really what happens is why sell at a low price when you can sell at a high price, or why buy at a high price when you can buy at a low price? And what do I mean by that? So if this here is a sell, if this is going to break out to the downside, then what we really saw was we saw price come up, and rather than seeing a breakout at this point, right over here, we saw a push up, a gather, a higher price, and then the dump off comes, right? And then structure comes into place and we'd be looking for a breakout. And why is that? Because if the banks start talking and they realize that this is the sell point, then why would they sell here if they can go in here and go ahead and boost the price up, manipulate the price a little bit, gather it up here, and then dump it off, essentially making all of this extra money in this area? And that's a lot of money for the banks, because for me and you, that doesn't look like much, right? So from here, we're looking at like 174. From here, we're looking at like 176. So you're saying like 2 pennies, who cares? Yeah, but when you're doing, GBP and Aussie, when you make up, $1 trillion of the market or something like that, and you're talking about 2 cents on every move. So now you're talking about, 2 trillion or a trillion times 2 pennies. You know what I mean? So, that's a whole lot of money. For me and you, 2 cents isn't a lot of money, but to the market makers, 2 cents is massive, And so, why is that important? Because if they can make an extra 2 cents on that large amount of volume that they're moving, well, that's millions of dollars. So and that's how the banks make money. So what happened is, if this is going to be a sell, then this area here was the area of manipulation. However, if this is a buy, then guess what happened? We have a breakout, a push right back in to the same area, to the same structure, the same levels, the same pattern, with really this being an aberration, right? But if this is a breakout, then what happens is this was the test. This was the break, the fake out. And we tell TTA all the time, normally the first breakout is the fake out, right? So if you're a TTA member, you can comment in the comments below. Go ahead and let me know that you're hearing this in TTA. Drop a fire emoji or a strong arm emoji. Let me know that you know that, because the first breakout is generally the fake out. And so if this is a buy, then this is the manipulation. Why? Because if this is the breakout, then this structure should happen in here. We should see a breakout, a retest, and then a push out. But because we came back in, then this area becomes the exact opposite of what I talked about here. In a sell, they'd want to sell at a higher price. But in a buy, they'd want to buy at a lower price because, again, 2 cents is 2 cents. And so if this breakout really indeed was true and the retest was happening here, then this area is the area of manipulation. And either way, there is manipulation in this market. Anytime you see a pattern like this that breaks out and then comes right back into the same structure, it's because the bank is moving the market in one direction or another. And so we just have to be patient and let the market move so that we can confirm direction. Now, here's how we do that. The same way the bank did not want to sell down here, but they'd rather sell at a higher price, is the same way that they don't want to buy up here. They want to buy at a lower price. So if that's the case, then this really is the area that the bank wants to move at. And so when you see this line form right here on the VDI, that's the area of breakout. And so let's look at that for a second. Let me go ahead and get my crosshairs back. If that's the case, I'm just going to go ahead and drop a line on that right here. Then that's really amazing because why is that so powerful? Because watch this. We have a move down, a test, a move down, and if this breaks right here, what pattern is that? That's a double bottom. And so that means that the minimum we would see is for it to go to the top of here, right? So at the end of the day, if that area breaks right there, guys, we're going to make some serious money coming from here to here. And then from here, we want to see if price continues. If it breaks here and retests, now we know this was the breakout, this was the manipulation, right? I hope that makes sense to everybody. Because what happens is if this does not go up here, if this breaks out to the downside, then this was the true movement and this was the manipulation. Either way, the bank made their money, but we have to be patient to see which side of the market we are going to make our money from. Because we don't want to trade against the banks. We don't want to go in and go against the momentum of the banks. We want to go with the momentum of the banks. And so once we find out if it was this or this, that is the manipulation, all bets are off. At that point, we're getting into the market and we're going to make money in either way. And how do we know what that is? Well, all we have to do is look at previous structure. And so we would look at this, we would drop a line right here, and then at the breakout, we would look for breakout. Here's our scalp opportunity in here to here. And then when price comes down here, there's our breakout to come all the way back to here. So either way, we're going to be very happy. If it breaks out to the upside, we're going to take it to here, test it right here, and then take this for the longer entry. If it goes to the downside, we're going to take it to here, take that as a scalp, and then this would be our longer entry down here, and there's our take profit. So watch this. Let me show you something beautiful right here. Okay? Either way, I took off too many things here. Either way, let me put that back here, that line. Watch this. From a scalp perspective, we're talking, I say scalp, I mean like, a couple of moves over maybe 1 or 2 nights. 82 pips right here to the upside, easy money. And if it's to the downside, then we're looking at a little scalp right here of around 30 pips. And then from there, we're looking at about, coming right down to here, about 130 pips. So this week, either way, guys, we are going to get at least 80 and probably above 130 pips because the market won't stop moving after that. That's just the initial move. Now, here's the crazy thing is if this thing goes to the upside and it breaks this area here, right? That area that we talked about for the big swing. If that happens here, well, here's what's awesome. we're going to take that and we're going to take that move like all the way up, like that could go all the way up into that area here, And so if that happens, I mean, guys, we're talking about, just from that perspective, we're talking about 170, and that's in addition to the 80. So we're talking about 250 pips, right? So how beautiful is that? If we can come from this area here and ride that all the way up, in a couple of different moves, we're looking at 250 pips to the upside, and really, really pretty easy trading, There's not a lot of risk in this because it's all kind of laid out for us. It's really easy. Here's our entry. Here's our entry. Here's our bigger entry. Here's our bigger entry. And there's our take profit. And there's our take profit. So looking really, really good, guys. This is going to be a great week in the market. Anytime the market shows us its hand like this, where it has manipulation on either side. Anytime you see the market do this like that, where it has a pattern, comes out, and then comes right back into your pattern, that means that the market is manipulating one way or the other. And it's a beautiful thing because we get to make money on it. All right. So guys, if this brought you value, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's make some money this week. I'm going to do my best to send a trade setup out this week to YouTube. But if you want trade setups all week long, we're sending out winning trade setups all week long. Go ahead and join trendtrading.academy. Links in the description. Don't miss out anymore. And let's make this money together, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.